Flyer design is one of the easiest things to do on Canva, either by customizing a design or by starting from the scratch. So I will tell you few things that you need to put in mind when designing a flyer, either for yourself or for a client. I'll be telling you the hints basically for your client. Remember, it's for a client. So definitely you are designing something that would be based on their own preference, what they would like. If a customer reach out to you and you really need to know, okay, what exactly does the customer want? You need to know if they want the sophisticated design, a minimalist design, a festive design. What's their color like? What's the name of your brand? Does it have logo? Is there something they are expecting you to do? Is there a particular font, or do they have a particular design on mind? Probably they've come across a particular design on social media and they just want to replicate such, but maybe a little touch of your own um, creativity. So you just ask questions. Say, now I'm going to be designing a flyer, this particular flyer, and I want you all to come with me. You can reach out to our mail if you need more of this lesson, or if you want us to create a flyer for you for any event. We'll be right there. And I'm going to click on create a design. And another thing is you need to ask your client if they want it to be a social media flyer, or they just want a normal flyer that can be printed. So for me, I basically use a social media flyer, which is 1080 by 1080. So because I want them to be able to post it on their social media page, right? So, and this is actually perfect. So you can click on this Instagram post square. The first thing is I'm going to go with the teal background. So you search for teal background under your element, and then you can go with any of the graphics, photos, but ensure you're not going with video, right? So now I'll be going with this particular graphics, and I would definitely, you know, check the recommended too. These are the magic recommendation. Just feel free to explore, the beauty of every design is just explore and don't be scared to just do you. Okay. So once you've clicked this, I'm okay with the first one that I clicked. Then I'm going to just, because I need it, I want to make it my background. So I'd already set this up as my background. Then the next thing I'm doing is I'm going to go, I clicked on the arrow, then I will add a text, and this time around I'm adding a heading. So for this heading, this flyer is basically for me to advertise what I do. So I'm going to type in, do you need, I already have what I want to include in the text. So I'll be using, change the font to as new. So I'll be using this as new, and the font is going to be, the color of the font is going to be white. So of course you change it to white, and then you reduce the font size to 37 or thereabout. You don't want it too small or too big. So now that I have this, the next thing I'm doing is to rotate it and leave it right there. Then you can easily add another subheading this time around. Then you type in creative. So we are going to be using Montserrat. So this Montserrat that we are using, we'll reduce the size. So reduce the size to 20 and then just click outside the page. Then you're going to rotate it and place it carefully under this one. Then we're going to go to element, and this time we need a button shape. So come to this shape, go to see all, and you're going to be needing this particular shape, and then we'll reduce it. So once it has been reduced, bring it right here and rotate it to fit. Then reduce it again, just adjust it to when it will make sense. Here we have it. Oh, do you need a creative graphic design? So we are going to add a heading and type in graphic design. Then we're going to change the font to Baby's new, but the bold one, new Cyrillic. Feel free to check different fonts that you can use. So it has been changed now. And then I'm going to increase the size to 100. So it has been, the font size now is in 100. And then I'm not going to leave it like this. I'm going to turn it, like rotate it, just to be under this. And the next thing is go to your spacing and ensure you reduce the spacing this way. So I reduce the spacing to 0.98. So after then, I'm going to change the color of this to orange. Yes. Then I'll go to my effect and add an outline effect. Then the color, it will be something like ash. Then the thickness, I'll reduce it to 7. Okay, so this is beautiful this way. All I need to do is just to check if it's aligned and if it looks as beautiful as I want. So now the next thing we are going to do is you are going to add another heading, and for this heading just put in question mark, then change it, use Baby's new, then increase the font definitely, then change the color also to white, make sure it's bold. So you're going to bring it up here and have it rotated. Please go ahead and increase the size again. You want to duplicate this text. We want to duplicate it, and we also want to duplicate this button. Then rotate it. Once it has been rotated, bring it down here. This time around, lift this question mark up a little. Then this creative, change it to service. So once it has been changed, just rotate it. Rotate it and then take it back to where this is. So looking at this, it means we still need to reduce the size of this one. You know why? Because the service is not as big as the word. You know, the sentence service is not as long as the word creative. So we are going to place it on it. But if you notice something now, we have to go to layer, click on this three dot and go to position. You go to layer and then you're going to bring this down. Yes, so that it will be on heat. But now the shape is smaller than the sentence. So what I'm doing is I'm just increasing it a little, which is extremely perfect now. So the next thing we are going to do is we are going to go to our element and search for a pie chart. So we can use editable 8-section pie chart. So anything, but we are going to be using a graphics. So click on see all and let's go with. So just go through all of this and choose the one that you would prefer, the colors of the ones you would prefer. So I actually clicked on this one and then I'm going to have it rotated this way, since all that we are doing is kind of rotated. So now what I'm doing is I'm enlarging it and then I'm going to just lift it and bring it over here. So now that this is done, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to search for Polaroid frame. And for this Polaroid frame, I'll be using, click on see all for Polaroid. So you can see that you have different ones that you can use. So I'll be going with this one and then I'll reduce the size, then turn it or rotate it, bring it to the middle section of this. Then you're going to reduce it again. Just ensure that you are reducing and you are bringing it in the middle section. So now that that is done, the next thing we are going to do is we are definitely going to look for a picture. So I'll go to my upload and get one of my pictures. So I'll be using this picture. Click on it to add the picture, then reduce the picture size. Yes, reduce it. You don't want it as big as what we have there. Then once it has been reduced, I'm just going to turn it and then drop it inside the frame. But that's not all. So to crop it, click on this crop and then ensure that I bring this out a little. So once that is done, I'll just click on done. Then I'll pick the picture again, and this time around I want to reduce it the same way I did to that, you know. So the next thing I'm doing is I'm going to click on BG remover to remove the background. So once the background has been removed, I will have to turn it and then hold on to the control key here. So in order for the picture not to drop into the frame, so I'm going to reduce the size and then keep lifting it towards the frame part. I'll reduce the size again. So just reduce it, place it carefully on the other. That's the goal. That's what we want to do. We want to place it carefully to where the neck, the head and everything is, without missing out on a detail. So now that this has been placed carefully, I'm still seeing some lapses. Okay, so this has been placed carefully now. What we'll be doing is click on it and then crop. So once you are done cropping it, now you have the picture popping out of the frame. So the next thing we are doing is we are going to start writing the services that we offer as a brand. So you go to your text and then you add the heading. So this heading, we are going to be using Montserrat as our font. So let's change the font first and then reduce it. So what are the services we offer? We're going to put in 3D animation, then go ahead and reduce the size again. So we really need to reduce the size and then have it this way. So it has been reduced, and what I'm doing is I'm going to be placing it here. So now the color you are using here is depending on you. If you feel black is okay, then go ahead and use black. So I'll be using a white. So this is it. It has been used. Then the next thing is I'm going to duplicate this and then I'm going to place it on this red, then turn it, rotate it rather. I noticed this 3D animation is in two colors, so I'm going to highlight it again and change the color to white. So the next thing that we are doing is highlight all of this again and write the next services that we'll provide. Flyer design. So reduce the size till it fits in the shape here. Then once I'm done and I see that it's beautiful, I'm going to just duplicate, and for this one I'll put in poster design. It's depending on what you do, please. So I'll click in poster design and then turn it. Okay, let's have it like this. We'll go ahead, duplicate it, and that's just the way you keep writing what you do, what the services offer. So for this one, I'm going to put in business cards. Then I'll duplicate it again. Then this time around, rotate this way. And I will put in logo design. Then duplicate again. Rotate it. And then I'm going to put in video editing. So for this business card, I noticed the SS is outside. So I came back to make an adjustment, which is the same way you will keep making an adjustment. You check through everything that you've done and then adjust where need be. So this one, I'm going to put it this way and type in product design. Then the next thing is reduce the size of this, then duplicate it, and I'm going to put in social media post. So once that is done, let's have it this way, which is better. So once this is done, the next thing we want to do is we want to look for go to our element and then get shapes. So I'm going to be going with this kind of shape, then bring it outside here and use the I'm going to be using this kind of color, then reduce the size. So I'll have to bring it down, then I'll type in, I'm going to add the text, and this time around the heading. So I'm going to type in call or message. Don't forget you're not going to be using too much font here. So use Montserrat and then reduce the size till it fits the button shape over here. So this is perfect, and I'm going to go with an orange color. So this is it right now. The next thing is to reduce this. So now that we are done, we need to input the number that they need to call, which is add the heading and then bring it here. So Montserrat. So we're going to be using, we are going to input our numbers here, which is +234. Okay. This is the number right here. Then bring it here. Reduce it again. Okay, then change the color to white. The next thing we want to do is to add a location icon. I'll be going with this white and then reduce the size. Bring it over here and change the color to white. Why we are using white is to lay emphasis on some of these things, to actually draw the attention of the reader, the viewer, anybody to this. Then I'm going to just duplicate this particular phone number text and then put in the location. Okay, so this is the location. This is the location address. Then I noticed this location icon needs an adjustment, so I'm going to put it all out. We are almost done. If you watch up to this moment and you enjoy what I'm actually teaching, please do give it a thumbs up. The next thing is we need a graphic design element. So I'm going to search in for graphic design element, or just type in graphic design. So this time around I'll be using photos. So I'll just look for any of those photos that interest me or that gives me the vibe. So I will go with this particular image and then rotate it, bring it over here, and then remove the background. So the background has been removed. Reduce the size. Then rotate it. Just look at it perfectly. I'm just doing it the way I want it and the way I feel is going to bring the beauty, to bring out the beauty of my design. So this is it right here. Click on this transparency button and reduce the transparency entirely to this at 23. So now you check through, and once you are done, come over here and name your file. So distilling, I'm going to use the high flyer. So if you don't want to put your picture, it's not really necessary. So this is done, and check through if there is any mistake in the writing or anything that you need to adjust. Once you are satisfied, click on the share button and click on download. Increase the size if you are on Pro, and ensure that you check through the download settings. Click on download, and that is all. Thank you so much for watching. We really do appreciate you. If you like our videos, please check out other videos. We have many videos on how to design flyers. We are not limited to Canva designs alone. We also help you out with Microsoft Excel. We help you out with Microsoft Word, how to navigate it. We would appreciate if you check out other videos on our channel, and um, do hit the subscribe button also so you don't miss out on our upcoming content. We'll see you in the next video. Ensure to drop a comment also and give it a share. We love you, and until the next video, we say bye bye.